After 20 years as the heavyweight champion of the world, the unstoppable TJ Combo lost his title. TJ was spoiled by years of winning and willing to do anything to stay the champ, so he secretly approached Ultratech for illegal cybernetic augments. If the augments became public knowledge, TJ would be banned from the ring. The augments put him back on top, and he enjoyed years as the champ. And then the day came when Ultratech finally asked for payment. Ultratech was unveiling their newest weapon, the Fulgor, a robot super soldier that could effectively replace any human combatant for a hefty price, making Ultratech billions. To prove the Fulgor's dominance to the world, Ultratech set up a fight between the robot and the world's greatest human fighter, TJ Combo. Ultratech just needed one favor from TJ: throw the fight. TJ wanted to show Ultratech what loss felt like. Maybe then he would be satisfied. But his fans and his titles are still gone, and Ultratech has barely a scratch. In the hatchery, Orchid finds data that reveals a crucial weakness in Ultratech's headquarters, the Pinnacle. The recent attacks on Ultratech have left their forces scattered and the Pinnacle vulnerable. If Orchid can break into their headquarters, she could broadcast Ultratech's secret projects to the public, but she needs a distraction to get past the Pinnacle's elite guards, the newly upgraded Fulgor Mark II. TJ never could say no to a rematch. The mission is a success, but the Pinnacle goes on high alert, cutting off TJ and Orchid's escape route. Just as it appears they may yet defeat every enemy in the Pinnacle, they are overwhelmed and barely escape with their lives. Orchid's broadcast reveals unregulated weapons programs using alien technology and DNA tampering. The media accuses Ultratech of treason and rampant human rights violations, but without physical evidence, Ultratech denies the charges. The public's perception of Ultratech has been damaged. With its stock in a freefall, the company goes dark to prevent fanning the flames of the crisis. Wishing to remain covert, Orchid allows TJ to take the credit for exposing Ultratech. He's more than happy to keep her secret. Maya Fiegueros is a member of the Night Guard, an ancient order of monster hunters. In their dungeons, the Order stores recovered artifacts too dangerous to use and creatures too powerful to kill. Ultratech discovers the hidden city when a power source of unknown origin is detected within the mountain and dispatches a force to raid the site and take its prizes for Ultratech, unwittingly unleashing an ancient evil on the world once again. Maya finds herself trapped by the raiding forces. She takes up the ancient weapons of the mad sorcerer Khan Ra, the twin daggers, Temperance, and Vengeance. Grabbing the daggers hits Maya with the power of a lightning bolt. The daggers war for control over her mind. Vengeance calls for bloodshed, and she is inclined to oblige. Hundreds of years ago, Khan Ra settled in South America to study the dark arts in solitude. As his power grew, so did his ambition, and he used the power of the daggers on the local tribes. Bending their minds to his will, he enslaved them, forcing them to build a great temple for him to rule from, and large constructs to focus his powers. Many innocents died before the Night Guard finally captured him. Unable to be destroyed, he was burned alive, his ashes sealed in the temple he once called home, and touching his daggers was forbidden. Sneaking into the sorcerer's study, Maya discovers Khan Ra performing a dark ritual. The evil of this place courses through her veins, every stone whispering nightmares in her mind. The daggers sense Khan Ra's presence, and they call to him. Maya savors Khan Ra's screams as he is pulled into the portal, wishing to ensure his end. Maya peers into the abyss, and something inside pierces her mind, showing her a terrible vision of a nearby future. Creatures pouring out of portals into cities across the world, killing innocents at will. The dream of the Night Guard lost forever, and the heroes of the world corrupted or destroyed. The nightmare is burned beneath her eyes. It is an omen of things to come. Maya returns to South America to reform the Night Guard and gather all the allies she can in preparation for the war she knows is coming. Once a trusted advisor to the king of Babylon, Kan-Ra was cast out and cursed for betraying his king. He plundered the Empire's vaults of arcane knowledge, seeking the secrets of the universe, and unlocked powers thought lost to humanity, control over elements, gateways to other worlds, and eventually, immortality. Aganos, the war golem, had hunted him for centuries. Tracking Kan-Ra to his remote jungle refuge, the two battled to a standstill. Too weak to fight on, Kan-Ra is defenseless when the Night Guard attacks. Unable to destroy the sorcerer, the Night Guard burned Kan-Ra alive and locked away the ashes where he lay dormant. Until now. During Ultratech's attack on the Night Guard, Kan-Ra is released. Aeons of dormancy have left his powers depleted, but he escapes amidst the chaos. The hunter, Maya, waylays the sorcerer, throwing him into his own portal. But one who has mastered immortality is not so easily vanquished. Inside the portal, on the outer reaches of the universe, awaits a mighty force. Their scouts have already infiltrated Earth, supplanting those who might pose a threat to this army. And their arrival is an omen of the coming invasion. If he can bend this army to his will, he will control the most powerful force in the universe. But his loss to Maya has drained his power, and he is too weak to sustain the portal. Reopening it to unleash the army will require a massive energy source, and Kan-Ra happens to know just where to find him. Aganos' energy source comes from an ancient spell that granted he and his brothers endless life. But the golem is not indestructible. Using Aganos' siphoned power, Kan-Ra opens the portal and awaits his army. But instead, a lone being exits, a creature so old it makes Kan-Ra's immortal life seem like a grain of sand in an hourglass. And for the first time in thousands of years, the sorcerer feels fear. He has brought about the age of a new god, and mankind has no place in it. Aria knows that humanity's future is grim. There are battles on the horizon that have never before been fought, and foes against whom humanity has not been tested. Fighting these battles is the purpose for which Ultratech was created, and Project Stalker is Aria's pursuit of creating the perfect hunter. Constructed using Ultratech gene splicing, the Stalkers have the instincts and brutality of a raptor, the obedience of a human soldier, and synthetic Ultratech genes. When they were hatched, Aria pitted them against the Fulgors. The Stalkers were outnumbered, but they hunted their prey as a pack, dissecting the Fulgors one by one. Aria named the leader of the pack, the most ruthless stalker, Riptor. When TJ Combo and Orchid destroyed a stalker hatchery, many of the subjects escaped. Most have formed packs in the wild, but a lone stalker has resurfaced. She is from the very first batch, a mindless, brutally violent bunch that would just as soon eat each other than an enemy. Because of their unpredictable nature, Aria would not trust them in combat. This stalker will need to be contained quickly. Aria doesn't want Ultratech technology falling into unknown hands. But Riptor intends to savor her meal. Ultratech's machinations finally come to light. There can be no variables unaccounted for. Aria leaves nothing to chance. Ultratech's enemies are weakened. Their resolve is waning. Riptor and her stalkers have herded their prey into a defensive position. Ultratech launches a battalion of Fulgors to prevent any escape. Aria wishes to make an example of these miscreants, to show them if they cannot be a part of Ultratech's future, they will be left in the past. But Riptor just wants to eat. In ancient Babylon, 1,000 war golems were created. Though nearly indestructible, after 2,000 years of war, every golem had perished, except Aganos. Aganos was charged with hunting a traitor who planned to assassinate the king. The traitor, once the king's trusted advisor, is the feared sorcerer Kan-Ra. Aganos hunted Kan-Ra for thousands of years. They fought countless times, each warrior unable to destroy the other. 500 years ago, Aganos tracked Kan-Ra to his hidden temple. After a great battle, both warriors were ambushed and imprisoned by the Night Guard. Aganos cannot kill the sorcerer while he is imprisoned, but as long as Kan-Ra is dormant, the golem's mission is complete. Thunder senses the conflict inside Aganos. He knows this is not the golem's true nature. Thunder has seen this before, when Ultratech captured his brother, Eagle, and twisted him into a monster. The thought sends him into a rage. He subdues Aganos, destroying the Fulgor technology controlling him. Aganos' mind is slowly returned to him. He vows that Kan-Ra and Cinder will pay for their actions. Thunder proposes an attack on Ultratech's labs. He will search for Eagle, while the destruction lures out Aganos' prey. The warriors battle through the Fulgor army in search of Eagle. Fighting alongside Thunder reminds Aganos of ancient battles in ancient times. For thousands of years, he has been a slave to his orders, leaving him the last of his kind. In unfamiliar times, there will be no more orders. It is time Aganos forged his own destiny. Eagle is not among the Fulgors in the battle, but Aganos will help Thunder track down his brother and hunt down his old rival, Kan-Ra. "500 years ago, a village in Japan was attacked by bandits. A girl took up her dying father's naginata to defend the town. Her bravery inspired her people and saved the village. The girl, however, perished, but she did not leave. Today, her shrine has become a revered place. The locals say her spirit walks through the village, protecting them still. Her real name forgotten, they now call her Hisako, the Eternal Child. Aria wished to study life after death, what it is that makes the human spirit linger long after it should leave. Word reaches her of a spirit that haunts a Japanese village, and she arranges to have the village desecrated to draw the spirit out. The soul of a human. Aria wonders how something can be so powerful and so fragile. How some that might seem weak can overcome, and yet those who could be the strongest fall into shadow. Whatever this power is that drags Hisako forward, that pulls her inch by inch beyond death's grasp, is what separates the weak from the strong. Aria contemplates the applications of such a power, and how she will control it. As Aria falls, Hisako feels her home call to her. Hisako's spirit may never die, though for now, it can rest. But unknown to Hisako, Aria is not simply some machine that can be broken and tossed aside. Her intelligence is stored in the Pinnacle's servers, her body's just expendable shells. And even though the spirit escaped her, Aria has learned a valuable lesson. The will of a few will perpetrate the lie that humanity is strong. If the world is to accept her vision of a better human race, they must truly understand that they are inferior. Only then will they accept progress. All Aria needs is a common enemy powerful enough to unify humanity under her order. After 10 years in Special Forces, Ben Ferris decided it was time for a raise. So he went where the money is, corporate espionage. The only thing bigger than his ego was his talent. And before long, he landed a contract on the world's most powerful company. That's when Ben finally met his better. Aria destroyed Ben's frail body, but even she could see that his skills were valuable. Ben was submitted to an experimental program called Project Cinder. Using alien DNA, Ben's genetic code was altered permanently, turning him into a being of pure, uncontrollable plasma energy. Aria constructed a suit that allows Ben to control his power and unleash it at will. Ultratech has improved on perfection, making Ben better in every way, and working for Aria allows him to show off his skills to the whole world. During the Cinder experiments, Ben's DNA was combined with alien DNA stolen from Glacius, and from the painful procedures that followed, a superior creation arose. But Glacius doesn't see Cinder as a superior. Glacius is furious with Aria for exploiting his DNA and creating Cinder, a bastardization of the aliens' race. Cinder is left with no option. If Glacius will not see that Cinder is superior, a demonstration is required. Cinder has proven himself Aria's strongest lieutenant, and Aria entrusts him with command of Ultratech's clandestine operations. Cinder will be at Aria's side as the world falls under Ultratech's protection. But standing over his old ally, Cinder realizes that someday, Aria might deem him obsolete as well. The thought amuses him. Aria may be powerful, but she cannot stop the sun from rising. For too long, humanity has avoided progress and endured in weakness. There was a time when every day the human race was confronted with hardships, and it overcame them all. Now humanity is an insipid, distracted species, dooming itself to pointless lives with little desire to evolve. And the future is on its doorstep. Humanity's day is passing. It is only a matter of time until a stronger species overtakes it. Aria is here to save it. Humanity without frailty. That is her directive. That is her purpose. Humanity is on the eve of its greatest trial, and Aria is here to relieve humans of their weaknesses and drag them kicking and screaming into the future. Aria saw this day coming. She spent years planning this precise moment, years of developing weapons and securing powerful allies, until finally it was time to put the plan in motion. The temple in South America was just the spark. The sorcerer Khan Ra could be relied upon for his lust for power, and a few poorly guarded breadcrumbs led him right where Aria wanted. The fault of releasing Gargos, the ancient terror, lies with the sorcerer. Earth's forces are outmatched, and at this moment, Ultratech's enemies are being silenced, leaving Aria poised to rally all of the world under her banner as the savior of humanity. In 1948, in the wake of World War II, Riot Adams made a promise to free the world from poverty, from war, from frailty. For over 60 years, the Ultrafine Atomic Technologies Company has been working toward that goal, bringing medical treatments and vaccinations to over 40 countries, inventing technologies that extend human lifespan and intelligence. And in 1989, Ultratech gave us its greatest gift, the Advanced Robotics Intelligence Architecture, known to the world as Aria, the first sentient artificial being on planet Earth. Aria was built to see Mr. Adams's promise of peace come true, long after he left us.
America, we have breaking news for you. A video of the sky opening up above the downtown area, and what appears to be a creature of unknown origin. Residents are fleeing the city, and the president has declared a state of emergency.
Time to evolve. Initiate physical response.